This concludes the commentary for today's events. I hope you enjoyed it, and also the remainder of the afternoon's proceedings as we close this historic Reclaiming Our Atlantic Destiny, Connect, Build, and Renew visit from His Majesty Otumfuo Ose Tutu II, Asante Hene of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Good evening. His Majesty Otumfuo Ose Tutu Asante Hene, Kingdom of the Ashanti, Prime Minister of Grenada, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Dr. the Most Honorable Dowridge Middock, Chancellor of the University of West Indies, the Honorable Jerome Walker, Minister of Health and Wellness and Senior Minister, the Honorable Sandra Husbands, Minister of Training and Tertiary Education, the Honorable Chad Blackman, Minister of Educational Transformation, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, and Lady Beckles, Dr. Trissa Tannis, Chair of Campus Council, KPhil, and Reverend Dr. Tannis, Professor R. Clive Landis, Principal and Pro-Vice Chancellor, University of the West Indies, KPhil Campus, Chiefs of the Ashanti Kingdom, members of the Executive and Senior Management of the University of the West Indies, Her Excellency Juliet Sutherland Bino Sutherland, High Commissioner of Barbados to Guyana, His Excellency David Commichong, Ambassador of Barbados to the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, members of the Royal Delegation, members of the Cooper Delegation, members of the university community, deans and heads of departments, faculty and students, specially invited guests, members of the media, guests viewing online via UWI-TV, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening to all. I am Henderson Carter, Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Education here at KPhil. Welcome to the special unveiling ceremony in a building that carries the architectural motif of an Asante stool, to honor King Cuffy's men who endeavored to create an African kingdom here in June 1675. Today, we remember these men who were dragged through the streets of Spice Town. Some, like Tony, burnt alive with his last words, "If you roast me today, you cannot roast me tomorrow." Today, we also remember the victims of a slave ship called the King George, which ran aground off the east coast of Barbados in 1791, killing 281 enslaved Africans bound in their chains. We also remember on this spot, this very spot, the perseverance of Quor William Jemmott, who came here to this malt plantation in 1797 and became the first black sexton in the Anglican Church of St. Stephen's, just a few minutes down the road. Quo inspires us to reach for the stars, despite his challenges, despite his enslavement. And today, this ceremony, under the theme, Reclaiming Our Atlantic Destiny, Connect, Build, Renew, focuses our attention on rebuilding that Atlantic bridge with Africa. That bridge that was broken during colonialism, but a bridge that we now restore as a highway to progress and development. Today it gives me great pleasure to invite Vice Chancellor Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, historian of the 1675 conflict, to give his opening remarks. Sir Hilary?
Your Majesty, this campus, in developing its futuristic identity, thought it necessary to celebrate our ancestral roots so that every student, every worker, every visitor to this campus would be reminded of who we are. Someone had an idea of celebrating our Ghanaian roots with a structure built in honor of our ancestors. And the idea of the motif of the school, of the stool. We were honored, Your Majesty, when you came here and laid the cornerstone. We were honored when you gave us the gift of the baobab tree, which is in splendid growth on the periphery of this building. We believe then that when the leaders of this university, this campus, our principal who is now here, when they walk through this door, they would feel the spirit of our ancestors. And we have located it on this site. There were many locations we could have chosen, but we chose this location because when you are in the city, the capital city, Bridgetown, when you look up from Bridgetown, what you will see on the hill is the stool. And it was chosen for that reason, so that the majority of our people at all times will always be looking for inspiration from the stool. And this is why we are here. One of our great Caribbean artists, Ras Aiken, are you here? Please come and stand next to me. Please come. I went and visited this brilliant, distinguished artist, and I said to him, we need a painting that will be permanently located here, that will speak of the descent of the stool from heaven. The stool on which, Otumfuo, you and your successors forever will sit and have the wisdom and the judgment for which you are known. And Ras Aiken thought about it, and I said to him, I can't afford to pay you. So whatever you do here is your own spiritual contribution to the struggle. And he depicted for us the descent of the stool from heaven coming to us to give us that spiritual center of gravity, so that when our Asantihinis, through time, and if my history proves to be correct, the stool was sent down to Osetutu the first. And here we are, 400 years later. 400 years later, and Osetutu the second is here. "400 years, 400 years." And I'm going to invite our great nation regional artist to describe for us briefly his creation and his vision. Please.
Greetings to all, His Majesty, to his delegation, and to all my Bajan and Caribbean family. Then I was commissioned by Hillary to conceptualize this historic moment. I didn't want to follow a literary narrative, so I just wanted to conjure a moment of mystery, an enigmatic moment wherein the actual evidence and presence of the stool is not in the painting, because it is really a moment of anticipation of its arrival. And I thought that it would be good for the painting to retain its mystery and the mystery of that moment. So they're still here looking upward in anticipation, which is looking to the highest aspects of self, really. Basically, that's the conceptual cocoon in which I did this work. And it is a distinct pleasure to be able to share it with you all. I just ask that you engage it, and because it's a visual art, so it shouldn't require a lot of deconstruction verbally, right? Because the eye has no tongue. So it's for you to engage and experience and feel, you know. Yes. Thank you.
I wish to thank our artist for the inspiration captured at that moment. He is one of the greatest artists of this region, and he has opened up our imaginations to sit here and look up to the heavens and wonder at that moment, the moment in anticipation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Hilary. Thank you, Rasakim. You've not only given us an administration building, but a very important heritage asset, so that visitors to this campus could come here in the foyer, see the drums, see the paintings, and of course, view the painting that we will now unveil. And I want to thank, before we get to the unveiling, all of you for coming and for making this such a wonderful ceremony. And permit me to thank His Majesty Otumfuo Ositutu for gracing us with your presence yet again. And we're happy that you could come back. And we wish you a pleasant stay in Barbados. Your presence, the portrait, our administration building, the baobab tree, the Quor monument, we can't forget that, always remind us of our African past and our struggles against slavery and colonialism. So, ladies and gentlemen, heartfelt thanks for coming out this evening. I just want to say a few words about the painting that is about to be revealed, the portrait rather. a portrait by Eric Afani, a Ghanaian artist. And he's represented today by Salon Hilary Fiaggio. Salon, where is he? Yes, here he is. The portrait is entitled Custodian of Heritage. It's a compelling collage artwork that honors Otumfuo, the king of Asante people of Ghana, celebrating his legacy and leadership as the custodian of tradition. This intricate piece, crafted from repurposed leather, beads, and metal scraps, captures the essence of his authority, cultural significance, and enduring influence on the Ashanti people. I now invite His Majesty and Vice Chancellor Sir Hilary to unveil the portrait of His Majesty, which the university is pleased to reveal and which is being unveiled in honor of His Majesty. Sir Hilary, His Majesty.
Before go.
Thank you. I'm working with her.
To invite His Majesty to tour the battery and the plaque on the outside. Yeah.
Mr. Hiller. Again. Yes. 2008. Yes. Yeah. Yes. On behalf of Otumfuo, I have the honor to present to you a stool. Otumfuo was invited when we were here in 2008 to observe that the motif of the president was a stool to show the permanence
of the institution and the fact of the heritage of Ashanti that he wanted to perpetuate. That is why he readily gave me the consent to use the motif. And today, with the building completed and it being formally commissioned, it is proper that he comes to you with an actual stool which has his crest in the Timche emblazoned on it. So this will be a permanent memento of Otumfuo's connection to Gabriel campus as far as his commitment is concerned. And there's, as you may know, you are a historian, a quick one at that, the stool is a symbol of authority of the king. And the biggest stool in Ashanti is the rolling stool, the name of which is Esikaja Kofi. So you see Kofi coming back, Kofi, yes. Anything that is Kofi means it's indomitable and it's indestructible. And you may want to burn the objects, but you may not burn the spirit. You can never burn the spirit. So with Otumfuo presenting the stool, he's telling you that the spirit of the stool will permeate the teaching that you do here, and it will infuse into your students the symbol, the feeling of cultural identity, which was so much highlighted during his lecture this afternoon. And having said that, I now have the formal pleasure of presenting you the stool on behalf of the students.
That's like calling it.
If you want to come. Yeah, you did an abstract construction, but I'm giving you a physical construction. You see, you have to, I'm translating from the abstract to the real. So this is a stool. Yes. Manifestation. You see, let's cap nature and then at the top, the concrete nature to allow for the sitting, this is the support, and this is the base. And it's supported on 4 legs to give it strength and stability. This is the chenche. It's the emblem of the king. That is coat of arms. Yeah.
First of all, I wish to thank His Majesty for giving this campus the permission. And I want to emphasize, colleagues, that we had to seek permission from His Royal Highness for the right to use the concept of the stool as the architectural motif, and we were delighted when we received the correspondence from the palace that we could proceed. And I wish to thank Your Majesty for this also. I will see this and receive this as energy for this university to continue to do the work that it must do. This university was built as a tool of the upliftment of the African people and the people of Asia who were also colonized. And when it was built in 1948, the narrative was, we have a duty to liberate the colonized people of this region. And this journey, this tool, this journey is a part of that continuation. And we feel even more inspired, Your Majesty, by the energy you have given us here on the 77th year of this university. And as we approach the centenary of this university, we will keep at the center of that centenary celebration the energy you have given us to continue on our journey. Thank you so very much.
I now invite our principal, Professor R. Clive Landis, to make a presentation as well.
Your Majesty, we didn't want you to leave without a gift from the campus. So we chose our MC with great care. Henderson Carter is the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Education, and he is the author of this book from our Department of History, and the book is called Today in Bajan History. Today in Bajan History is, I would say, the first time that the real history of Barbados has been told on a daily basis. It is played on the radio every single day. It has been for the last 2,000 days. And it is the history of Barbados which has not previously been written. So it is in an almanac. You have one entry to read every day of the year, from January the 1st all the way to December the 31st. You can check what's on today's entry for November the 12th, and it jumps through history, and I hope you enjoy this humble gift from the University of the West Indies, and I would ask that you receive this in the presence of the Vice-Chancellor and Henderson Carter, the author.
And that concludes our ceremony in the foyer. We will now go outside to the baobab tree and to the plaque. Thank you.
Trinidad, Barbados, we're making the connection.
We have to people like the population
That's what we need. That's the augmentation we need from Africa. Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to the direct flight. I can just get on the plane here and straight across the Ghana.
Enjoy the rest of your time in Barbados. It's going to happen very soon.
And we wanted to Accra.
And Kumasi.
Yeah, well, to Ghana.
To Ghana, yes.
Minister of Education here in Barbados. Yes.
The heads of state are committed. Mrs. Simmons is committed to getting it done.
Yes, of course, of course.
And now with all the money coming in 2028, they can put money behind it.
Everywhere we be trying, I'm near 100. No more people check why I say Ghana for it. Do Barbados there next year. And Jim Cows. I'm not there 100. Leadership.
No, it's only Guinea people.
Are you going back to Syria?
Very clear, different.
Better?